How y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling?
Hey, man. That's it.
All right. I'm tired, bro.
Yeah.
Tired. Traveling a lot for work. Tired. Life is changing, things like that. Trying to find balance is tiring. But we blessed, so we can't complain for sure. It's just is what it is, though.
Fair. It's been the same thing with me. I've been real busy with work. I ain't been writing like I wanted to, bro. Like, I just don't got. When you're younger, you feel like you got all the time in the world, and time just moves so slowly. But when you get older, bro, time just moves. Like, your mind, I don't know, it's just some point in your life where your mind just clicks, and it just syncs up with what time really is. You know what I'm saying? Because then, like, because when you at work, and you know your break is at a certain time, or like something's happening at a certain time at work, you start to break down the time at work. You know what I mean? Because you be like, oh, well, it's 10:15 right now. Dang, we 15 minutes from 10:30. And then before you know it, it's going to be 11 o'clock. You know what I mean? And then, like, time just goes, bro. So, like, I feel like I just don't have enough time to do nothing. And then the time that I do have to do stuff, I don't want to do nothing, bro. I'm just tired, man. Like I said, like, it's just a time where, like, a lot of things happening, trying to find balance and stuff. You know what I mean? But it's cool, though. It's cool because, you know, we get to reset that. With y'all, my brothers. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Reset the Vibe. I have no idea. Yeah, I mean, I was going to do that, but I was going to sit up there and say, like, what episode is that? I forgot, bro. It's 40-something. We're not at 50 yet.
This season 3.
Yeah.
This episode 2.
That's true.
I thought the last episode was just going to be filibuster. Because I didn't put no number on that episode. It was just filibuster. It's cool. Whatever. It's season 3. We here.
Season 3.
We here.
Okay. You know who's not here? Here he is. Is he on the phone right now?
Okay. Wait, hold on.
What's on your phone for?
Hey, man.
Playing Candy Crush. That's what it is.
Yeah, bro. You had it sideways. Look,
Candy
first of all, you had it sideways, which means you were doing nothing productive.
I guess you do.
Nothing productive happens with the phone sideways, bro.
How you do Excel on your phone? Sideways.
Who does Excel on the phone? Yeah.
Hey, don't ask questions. Just understand.
No, I'm pretty sure you didn't ask questions.
That's something productive you can do with your phone like this.
Okay, but that's not what you was doing, though. Tell the truth, shame the devil.
Hold on. I never said it was.
Okay.
Right. How y'all doing?
You trying to smoke screen? Trying to smoke screen the situation. Okay.
Y'all like Madagascar?
Okay. Yes, actually, that movie's funny, bro.
Hey, the penguin, hey, man, you didn't see anything.
But that boy Moto and Madagascar 2 was hilarious.
Hey, look, that's
Man,
my home.
I'm trying to tell y'all that, like, all about the big and chunky. He was right.
Hey,
Man was ahead of his time.
man. A man of culture.
Man of culture, yeah. Fine taste.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So, season 3, what's cooking in the grease? How we doing?
This is what happens when you're on your phone. You weren't listening to this. Actually, we already said what you're doing. Stop burping and rubbing your hands.
Hey, I hear it right now.
Sound loud as ever, bro.
Right?
Yeah, bro.
It ain't moisturized. It's callous.
Oh my gosh.
This working hand.
You sound like a teacher handing back some papers, bro. No.
These are manual labor.
Manual labor hands. Good. These things soft as butter. I ain't gonna hold you.
Hey, look.
I ain't gonna hold you. Somebody asked me, why they so soft? Like, I don't do much with them. Like, you know what I mean? It's just not that way. My uncle's hands, them things.
Hey, if your pinky nail grows like 2 inches, I'm gonna ask questions.
We about 1.37 inches right now.
Man, you see him practicing in the alley going like this, man. Call people on. That's not funny. That's about sexual trafficking.
I didn't know she was talking about.
Yo, I didn't
I didn't know she was talking about. Hey, listen, I did not confirm. What?
So check this out. Check this out. I do not want to go see
Okay.
Boy, this ain't cheap.
Okay. Racist, but continue.
Oh, this is blowback because of the
Continue.
because of the camera. Sick of seeing Marvel on the screen, man.
Okay,
But they're way better than DC.
that's true. I'm not gonna lie. There's new Batman ones coming out next year, looking like it might.
They're making another one.
Yeah,
They're like the Fast and the Furious.
you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. They do new Batman all the time. But now there's new ones. The Robert Pattinson one look decent.
I think well, the superhero movie genre in general, superheroes in general, that sort of thing, like that genre is just it's being oversaturated, but it's selling. So it's like, yeah, you got 100 different movies or different tones of superhero you can go to, but it's all selling for the most part.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Because my problem with Marvel and DC is like they're making stuff nobody asked for, and while it may slap to a certain percentage of audiences, no, it's not. No, because like,
Okay, here's my thing. Real quick. So you know Shang-Chi eventually.
Are you gonna spoil something right now by saying
not,
things?
not in the movie.
In the comic book stuff.
Yes.
But you're still kind of gonna spoil it for what happens in the movie. Like.
This is something you can go Google right now.
No, but if you about to say something that's pointless, don't.
It's not a part of the movie.
Not
that I never seen the movie to know.
But then am I gonna watch the next movie and find out and be like, oh, this is what happened? I know what happened.
I doubt it. But you know he eventually trains like Spider-Man, right? And like helps him develop his Spider-Man martial art.
Okay.
Right. So I wonder if that's the reason why they brought him out. Because other than that, he's like really a background character. Yeah. So I was caught off guard when they was like they coming out with the Shang-Chi movie. I'm like, really?
it may be representation too.
What about the Eternals though? Are they kind of background too?
No, this is a whole separate comic. But like I never like how I got introduced to Shang-Chi is as a background character to the Spider-Verse. Right.
Which I mean, it's pretty obvious. Obviously, Spider-Man is about to be the big like. If you're looking at the movies from the Avengers standpoint, Iron Man and like Captain America were the two biggest characters from the like last phase, right? So if you're looking at it now, Spider-Man definitely about to be the number one. All right, comes to the next phase. I don't know. I feel like we could have said it was the Black Panther would be the second one because everybody was rocking with Black Panther so heavy. But like rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. They're not gonna be able to revive that to the same degree it could have been if he was still around. Right. So I mean, Shang-Chi coming around helped Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the biggest like character now, which looks like it's about to follow either Wanda or Doctor Strange. About to be the second one. That's like the most important kind of thing.
See, that's the thing too. Like, I think maybe it's just the characters in general, and not maybe the story that they can come up with and tell them. It's like the problem is that, like you said, like Iron Man and Captain America were like the two biggest standouts equally, like for the last phase. Like, yeah, everybody liked everybody else to a certain degree. Those two were the ones that stuck out. They were the most powerful. Now you got Spider-Man. And if you've seen Endgame, then you know some people died, some people they just hung up, they retired, whatever the case may be. They're not, you know what I'm saying? It's not the same level. So now it's just like, all right, we're making movies, we're making like these TV shows, and we're building up these side characters and stuff to care about them and give them more backstory, fleshing out more. At the same time, it's just like I only really care about Spider-Man. You know, and it's not to say that I don't support any of the other characters or I don't like any of the other characters. It's just like if Spider-Man was to leave the MCU, since he's been introduced into the MCU, it's like I don't know how you're gonna hold me. Spider-Man.
But that's like saying though, like you ain't eat a burger on a wheat patty. Like that's what it's built on.
Fair.
That's the weirdest analogy I've ever heard.
It worked though, didn't it?
It worked. It worked. Yeah. But like to my original point, it's just like bro, it's just a lot of stuff that we just didn't necessarily ask for. You know what I mean?
Cause I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm done seeing Superman, Spider-Man, and Batman movies. If I never see another one, you cannot keep retelling me the same movie. Like, I get Mission Impossible, I get Fast and Furious, although I don't like it.
You said Superman and who?
Batman.
You're not gonna watch another Batman movie? Sadly mistaken.
For what?
The storyline of Batman is so good and it's done well so many times.
Okay, so who haven't they introduced?
What do you mean, like villains wise?
Yes. Who you going?
They haven't done Poison Ivy in a long time.
They ain't done Mr. Freeze in a long time.
It's Freeze in a long time. Penguin in a long time. The Penguin about to be the one for this new one. So what they've been doing is the Joker. You have Bane and Scarecrow. Okay.
And that was like cameo because you can't really build a movie around. You could have really built a movie around Bane, which is what they did. What they kind of tied it in with that other thing.
Yeah.
But you couldn't really build a movie around Scarecrow.
No, but that wasn't the point though. That movie wasn't about Scarecrow. That movie was about the origins of Batman.
No, I get you, but I'm saying in general, you could.
And also the main villain. Oh, the main villain was Scarecrow. It was Ra's al Ghul. That was the main villain in that movie.
I feel like not for y'all. I feel like if it's told right, if it's written right, you can have a character like Scarecrow really be the main villain and whatnot. But like it's got to be written right, man. Because like I think now, how it is with villains, like we're used to them having some type of superpower, or them being some type of super strong. So when you see somebody like Scarecrow who only just spray some stuff in your face and have you hallucinate, it's just like, well, if I got a mask on, bro, what you gonna do? You know what I mean?
He's a mad scientist, though.
True.
So I don't know. I mean, look, the next movie is supposed to have Penguin and the Riddler as the main villains, right? Then you also could go on a route where you introduce the other characters, the other hero characters like Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, Batwoman.
Which Robin?
Whichever one you want.
Which one?
I'm saying there's so many ways you can go with it.
Okay, so here's my thing. What I would like to see, which is something they will never give us, the things we would like to see, I would like to see them do a live action Red Hood based on the comic of Joker killing Robin.
Right.
And him becoming the Red Hood after being revived from the Lazarus pit.
Right.
I would like to see that in a live action.
I think they did that, low key.
They did that in an animated.
No, Titans. I think they did that in Titans.
So Titans, yes.
Yeah, they Red Hood's in the show now.
Yeah. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
But
I'm saying like that's possible.
You know, it's possible. It's nothing good. You say Red Hood, and as much as I would like to see Red Hood, I'm not gonna hold you. Batman Beyond will be done right.
That'd be fire.
That would be fire. Because think about it. At that point, you can have somebody play an older Bruce Wayne, mentoring Terry, but now you got a whole new roster of villains to play with that we haven't
Definitely
seen.
Ben Affleck, though.
Yes, I agree with that.
As all of that.
I agree with that.
I'm cool with that. But I'm saying, as far as the villain problem that you said,
That or Kevin Costner. No. That's not the one I'm thinking of. Whose buddy played? That was Kevin Costner, right? Who played him in like the 90s or the early 80s, something like that. Kevin Costner was it?
No. You're talking about computer here.
Right.
No, but I know but it's like it's the same era of like they were the two white dudes who were in the movie back in that time.
Right.
It's not Kevin Costner.
I hope you don't mean Adam West. I think
No, Adam West. No,
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, Michael Keaton being the old man, old Batman. Well, I guess I heard your point though, because Ben Affleck's Batman was way more gritty.
Yeah.
And so there's a grit, and then that Batman from Batman Beyond was so gritty, bro. Like he was just like dirty in a dark room all by himself all the time. Bruce Wayne.
Man, I like to see him. No Alfred. Oh man, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. So he even darker. Like that would be dope. Like, but that's just me. I just noticed they don't like. As far as the live action, they don't give us the one we actually would like to see, like the dope stuff.
You gotta build it though. You gotta build it.
How?
You can't just be like, oh, we'll give you everything at one time.
Right.
You gotta build it.
They want everything else at one time. They can just move it down at one time.
I don't know, bro.
With a nice slow build.
Like you said, like
Even if they broke it up into two parts, I'll probably go see it.
money talks, bro. At the end of the day, money talks. And like the thing is with their properties, like I know for DC in specifics, I know DC has like a lot of like TV shows out. Marvel does too, but like DC has like a lot of TV shows, but like you can only use certain characters. You know what I mean? Now Titans, they let the Titans get away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, is that even a good show?
It is.
Okay, so
I watched the first 2 episodes and was like, this is slow burn, bro.
It's slow burn, but
Slow
it's
burn.
good.
low key. So I seen the season finale, and that's why I actually called it like the last 2 or 3 episodes. I think it's only like 5.
Of what? They got 3 seasons out right now.
Wait, okay, is that the one with Cyborg in it?
No,
What
Cyborg
is
is
that?
in Doom Patrol.
Okay, so I have not seen Titans. I've seen Doom Patrol. My
Doom
bad.
Patrol was entirely different.
Yeah, it's 55. I couldn't. I didn't gel with it. It's not bad, but it's just not for me. I didn't gel with it.
That was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
But like, I don't know, man. Like I was saying, like it's only certain characters you get away with, but Titans been getting away with a lot because they, like I said, they got Red Hood, they got Nightwing, they introduced Bruce Wayne, actually showed them like it wasn't like no behind the back thing. You only see the back of his head, and you know what I'm saying, grunting or talking like you actually see him. You don't see him in costume, but you see him. You know what I'm saying? And like this is a whole thing, bro. So I like what they're doing with that, but yeah, like how you said, bro, like they're just not giving us everything that we want and what we're asking for. But I think a lot of that has to do with them trying to flesh out the rest of the universe. So for one, they can have more stories to tell. For two, they can have some more revenue of income. And for three, bro, it's just whatever they want to do. And they don't always make the best decisions. They don't.
Good question. Okay. Let me ask y'all this thing. What was the name? What was the name of the group that got Black Bolt, Karnak, Chopper, Medusa? What's the name of that? It's a Marvel. It's a Marvel.
No idea.
I know what you're talking about.
So Eternals is something. I don't want to say that. Is it? What do they call it? The Immortals? Is that what it is? I don't think that.
There's the Immortals. Gargoyles?
Why have they not made? Why haven't they made a live action Mummies Alive? That would be dope.
That would be dope. I'm waiting on Gargoyles live action.
They would never. They would never. Okay?
That if it's done right, bro, it'll be hard, bro.
A live action Freakazoid?
Oh, now that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.
That'll be like the new Mask.
That'd be fire. That'd be fire.
Oh man, because they did that what was the ant guy?
Okay.
And that was trash.
Here's the joint though. You can't do Freakazoid and not do it for the adults though.
Yeah, okay.
Like you can't,
know,
like, you can't do that for the kids, right? They're not gonna care. Freakazoid doesn't really adults be hilarious, bro. On some like Deadpool type vibe, minus all the violence like that, like with all the jokes. Yeah.
I would love to see that. Freakazoid? Oh, that would be oh.
You mentioned the Mask. I wouldn't mind seeing a new Mask.
I don't know. The only reason why I feel like is who's going to do better than Jim Carrey, right? Who's funnier? Like
Who's funny?
But who's funnier in this era who could do that really well?
You would have to bring him back. You would have to bring him back. I don't know. I don't know if he would be the character in the Mask in the movie who damn mask over the thing in the water or not. But like,
didn't they do it with the dog?
So the dog in the mask or something like that. It was cool, but it wasn't.
So they made a
Son of the Mask, Dog in the Mask.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one. That was terrible.
I'm just saying.
Like I wouldn't done right. It'd be cool. Done right, it'd be cool. In my opinion.
The Mask was such a unique joint. Like I don't want to see it done over again. I feel like I hear you, because the idea of this seems cool, but I just feel like there's no way it can actually. It would only let me down unless Jim Carrey came back to do it again, and it was a sequel of the first one, but it takes place years later, and he finds the mask again. Some weird stuff time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Why don't we write for Hollywood, bro? We will make so much money.
We
would. Cause man, the way they've been going with the writing, bro, it's been low key lackluster. Like dialogues be rushed on, but
are you watching? Are you watching cinema or are we just watching movies? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we watching films? Or we watching?
Let me piggyback off of that. What was the last masterpiece of a movie that you've seen? Because then we can gauge where he's at and what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I can't give you the last one I seen, but I'll give you one of my top. V for Vendetta. That was an absolute masterpiece.
Never saw it.
You should put it on your list. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just I seen it when I was younger, and there was a lot going on, and I wasn't able to comprehend a lot of what was going on.
That movie has
Layers. I hate that I knew what you meant.
that movie has layers, bro. I like that's literally one of my favorite movies. Like from like my high school years going into my adulthood, I used to watch that movie all the time. That was like one of my favorite movies. Like the plot line where it went. Some parts didn't make sense. Like you ain't seen it, so I can't tell it. But some parts was kind of like, alright, that's a jump. But overall, it was really good. Like, I 8 out of 10. I 8 out of 10.
My baseline for like cinema, like for like what is great cinema, is always gonna be like Godfather. That is great movies. Oh, you just dropped your glasses?
Oh, I ain't dropping.
Oh, you placed them down?
Yeah.
We about to scrap?
No.
For me, when it comes to The Godfather,
Go ahead.
Okay, so when it comes to, I'm gonna get this in because I know you're gonna get into your bag. For me, like
The glasses off. What you mean?
gangster movies ain't my bag. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying that it's not a masterpiece. I'm not saying that it's not a masterpiece because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, right? But it's just not. It's just not my bag, bro. That's all I was gonna add to it. Go ahead.
Okay.
You had a lot of time before all of this to be taking a pause and touching base.
Okay.
Come on.
That is one of the most boring movies I've ever seen in my life. I have tried to watch The Godfather. I don't know how many times. I want to give you a time frame. Roughly about the span of 4 months. I've tried. I had the same routine. I was working at Target. I would get off from Target. I would go home. I would do my thing. And then I was working overnight. And I would put The Godfather on. And I would try to watch it. I would fall asleep. I would wake up. I would wind it back to the part that I had it at before. The last thing I remember before I fell asleep. And then I would roughly fall asleep again or go find something to do. That movie is entirely long. Entirely. I cannot actually say that it's like. And this was just the first one. This was the first one. I had to watch that movie in sections. I don't see how you like The Godfather. Why? So I'm just giving you my reasons for not liking it because I want to hear your honest and true reason for liking it.
Honest and true reason. It is to me, the greatest character development I've ever witnessed on a movie screen. It is a slow movie. It's a long movie. It's almost 3 hours long. Okay? But the character development of Michael Corleone is, to me, by far, like the best character development I've seen in a movie. There's no montages for it. There's no skipping through stuff. There's nothing like that. They build this man. They take this character. I'm like partially not wanting to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it before. I know it's been out for the grip, but like I tell people all the time to watch it because I'm like, yo, the way he goes from point A to point B is a journey. And normally movies montage you past the journey. Like they just want you to get to the point or get to the action part or get you to the grand conflict like that. This movie is tension the entire time of people trying to figure out how to work a system and figure the whole thing out, right? And it's building up a lot to the second movie, which is definitely way more kind of high octane. I feel like because you start off in a scenario that's pretty like high tensions with number two. Even especially with the flashbacks and everything like that, too, that you're in a much more like there's much more conflict throughout the entire movie in two than there is in one. But you're watching the character development of a man that doesn't make like he goes from point A, like he goes from two different sides of the planet on character development, right? From the nice guy to being the godfather, right? I'll just go ahead and spoil it. Okay? I'm gonna talk it through, okay? So getting from point A to point B, how he gets there is insane. Because he's the nice guy who has no business to do with what his family is into. Coming back to the military, wants to set up a good life for him and his girl, right? But then life happens, and he's got to do what he's got to do to take care of his family, because his man is down. So then he's got to go through all of these things like that, but can't maintain being the good guy that he is to be able to have to do all of these things, and progressively has to go from being like somebody who has hope, somebody who's like driven and wants to do different X, Y, Z things like that, to somebody who understands that what he has to do is take the responsibilities for his family and do everything he has to do for them. And so his progression into that, from watching like all the events that happen throughout the movie, it's not one event. It's this thing happened, so he has to come to the aid of somebody, right? It's this thing happened, so he has to take care of business this way. This thing, so he has to flee to go over here at that. And while he's fleeing and doing his thing and living his best life over here at that, trying to make a life of not being able to go back home like that, things hit the fan over there too. So now this man is essentially, all hope has been taken from this man, and he's like, all I have left is to take care of my family. And that's where we get to him by the end of the number one movie, where he's just like, he's now cold. He's now ice cold. Ice in his veins because of all the things that he had to go throughout this entire movie to become who he has to become in order to help his family, right? Because for him, family is the only thing that's important. Now, when you get to all three movies, you see how that even that mentality loses sight of a lot of good things and a lot of bad things happening because of that. But the fact that he got there from nice guy who only wants a good life, simple life, for that for him and his girl, to having to come back to, I got to step into this role I never thought I'd be in like that, but it's totally built for it because of what's been laid before him and how he handled his business throughout the entire process and all the things that afflicted him to make him become the ice cold man that he became to take care of what he had to do. That's why I maintain that Godfather is one of the best films and has the best character development I've ever seen.
I have never heard a synopsis of Godfather.
You never watched it?
Never watched it. Never really. Like I said, like gangster movies ain't my bag, bro. Like it's just,
I feel like that movie hits for people who like really value family. Like in a very, when I'm not saying, I'm just saying like that's just like when I see, I'm like I feel like I connected with it because I'm like I value family very, very highly, right? And so you're watching this character go through all these things and knowing that like this is not necessarily how he saw himself going, but he felt like he had to do it, right? And you're just like, damn, like I don't know, it's a you gotta. So basically, I was saying that to say that like yeah, it's a gangster movie, but it's a movie about like a regular dude who has to step in and do what he has to do to take care of his family.
Can I say this? Scarface summed that up in the shortest amount of time. I hear you.
Okay.
But it did. That whole thing in the shortest frame of time.
Okay.
So Scarface was always my top list in comparison to.
But I never saw Scarface, right? I never saw Scarface. I want to. Every time I come up on the list, I grew up. My parents didn't let me watch that, and then when it came time to watch it, I couldn't. It was on Netflix on that, right? So I hang around people who don't really watch Scarface. Anyway, that's beside the point. The Scarface. I'm not gonna argue with it. I don't listen to movies. I'm not gonna argue with it. It's okay. All
So
right.
I'm gonna put it to you like this.
But don't ruin it for me. I really want to see it.
Okay, as far as you talk about character development, there really is no flashback, but you see a point in where they're going to start the movie, and then they take you back, but not like a quick second flashback.
Yeah.
It literally explains it all the way through from there.
Yeah.
And it's literally The Godfather shrunken, except it wasn't like he's a nice guy kind of thing. He already starts.
But that's the difference, though. That's where I feel like it's so strong at for that character development because he's such on the other side of the spectrum. Not just somebody who was looking for his chance, made the best of his chance, and then had to do some things that he wasn't like. No, this man was really not trying to have nothing to do with any of that stuff, but then had to. Like, yeah, I don't know. But I hear you though.
I've tried to watch The Godfather a million times.
Also, you try to watch it at work when you already.
No, not at work. When I would get off work, but I would also try to watch it throughout the day. Like if I wasn't gonna go nowhere, I wasn't gonna do nothing, I was sitting trying to watch it.
Okay.
I'd be like, I hated King Kong because it was this long, and it was so long-winded. And it was like, but even in the King Kong, I don't see why it took so long to get to it.
Yeah, I get that.
But
I can't talk about that way.
Hearing your synopsis, I see why you like it. Because if I could explain it and articulate it like that, then yeah, I would watch it. But having seen it with my own eyes and try to really understand it, it's just like, nah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll even lay this out like this. My masterpiece movie, if I had to pick one, it's called Legends of the Fall. It's a romantic movie, a romantic drama. Not my first pick in movies.
Right.
Right? OG had the movie. She was watching it. I got sucked into the movie. Okay? I'm like, oh, what's this? Bored, and ended up stuck on the couch for the remainder of that movie, watching it. Like, literally got pulled into it because it was that good. It was like, it's what Anthony Hopkins, Brad Pitt, and this other guy. I just can't remember his name. It's a great, like, Western kind of film, but not like gunslinger Western, like, oh, we settling down, starting a family, all this happens, kind of thing. And like how the movie like shapes out is fantastic. If you've never like, you should watch it in order to understand like why I like my movies. Because I've seen tons of action movies. I've watched martial arts movies. I've seen every action movie there is. I've even seen the adult comedy movies when I was a kid. So like, I have a broad range of of things I've seen like cinema wise because my dad was a movie. It is a movie. Well, he was a movie buff. I don't think he still is. But my mom is a movie buff. So it's like I've always been watching like movies, series, stuff like that. So I got a diverse taste when it comes to what I watch. That's why I can't keep seeing the same movie. Like Fast and the Furious, people love it. I can't keep watching it. I hate that. But I can watch Happy Gilmore, and I've seen that movie almost as many times as I've seen Bad News Bears. And I've seen Bad News Bears almost as many times as I watch Star Wars.
Star Wars?
But that's what I like. I don't know. What about you? We know he was the Godfather, ain't we?
It's kind of like how you said. Like I'm trying to pinpoint the last one, but one of the ones that always gets me. Well, there's two of them, right? One is 50-50. It's with
Richard Levitt.
yeah. He finds out that he has cancer, and it's just going through the motions of just trying to deal with it. And like it got some comedy bits into it, but like it's mostly like drama. You know what I mean? And I'm trying not to spoil it, but he has this one scene where it's like the culmination of everything that just got built up of finding like, oh, I got cancer. Oh, like, cause he has a girlfriend, right, at the beginning of the movie. Things get rocky once he finds out he has cancer, right? Because then his girl at the time is just like, I ain't signed up for all this. So like he has to deal with all of those type of things. But he comes to a point where like it comes to a point in the movie where like all of that, it just hits him. And it's like real emotional because you actually just, Joseph Gordon-Levitt like really pushed himself to do that scene, and like I felt it. I'm just like, I think at that point, I think that was the first time that I looked at something like, this is acting. And I had seen a lot of movies before. It's not to say that none of the movies I've seen before were bad or didn't have good acting, but it was just like, that's acting. Like I felt that. I cried. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the first time like a scene in the movie like actually moved me like that. And then the other one, Silver Line Playbook.
Ooh.
So that's with Bradley Cooper and
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Heroes, Christopher.
Yep. And with that one, it's like the guy, he didn't break up. Like his girl or his wife at the time left him. He came home one day, she was with another dude in the crib, whatever, all that stuff happened. And he's getting out of, I guess, like a rehab center or something like that. But he's just so delusional in his mind of thinking wife is gonna take me back. And then he's, you know what I'm saying, like everybody around him is just like, bro, no, this is just not gonna happen. But eventually he finds Jennifer Lawrence's character, and her deal is her husband died, so she's just been a complete wreck out here wilding and everything else. But I think she's like friends or something, like with his wife or ex-wife or whatever you want to call it. But he says, well, she makes a proposition, was like, oh, there's this dance thing coming up. If you come with me and help me dance and whatnot, I'll give you this letter that you want to give to your wife, so she can read it or something like that. And it's just like this whole thing with both of them dealing with their baggage and like healing together through it with dance and everything. And it's just beautiful, bro. Like it's like the whole story is just beautiful. It's just a whole bunch of growth. Like you see where they're at the beginning of the movie, and like how ugly and crappy their characters are, and their lives are, and everything else, and the pain. But you see how they use each other to heal in a good way, to heal each other from stuff that they're going through. It's beautiful. So when it comes to like masterpieces and stuff like that, those are two ones that jump out at me.
Have y'all ever seen I Am Sam?
No, I heard about it though.
I've seen I Am Robot and I Am Legend.
I Robot?
There we go.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Watch I Am Sam.
I've heard of that, which was in the tier box.
That man, if you won't have snot bubbles by the end of that movie, nigga, man, because it's about this mentally disabled man who sleeps with this woman, had a kid by her, and then she like drops off at his doorstep and like, here, I don't want to take care of him. So now it's like this guy who's like acutely mentally disabled trying to raise his daughter, and he don't have that education.
Yeah, I've heard about that, and I was like, I ain't going nowhere near that. That is a cry fest waiting to happen.
Man, look, my mom used to watch it all the time when I was in like 5th grade, 6th grade, so we kind of grew up watching it. And as an adult, I have not revisited that movie. I want to, but it's a great life. That life, you talking character development? I am saying, that's a good one.
I feel that. So, what movie caught you off guard that you was just like, how you saying like before, like your mom was watching a movie and like kind of just rolled in and you saw it or whatnot, but just give me like another one, like maybe you watched it on your own, maybe it was like on TV. You was like, yo, so what?
You don't like My Hero.
Academia?
The movie. When that nigga was telling his mom, and she was like, I don't think you should be a superhero. She like, look how you destroying your body. Nigga, that resonated with me on a personal level. Cause like, I just like, at first the movie like, it's cool. Like watching anime, like, yeah, I'm just at the theater. But when that scene hit, I thought about me competing boxing, all the injuries and stuff that I had gotten over the years, trying to, I really wanted to become like a champ. I really wanted to be a champ. That hit different.
Yeah.
That's something right in. I was like, I hate you, Midori. He like, I don't care. That's what I want to do. I was like, man. Felt like, man, what's his mentor name?
All Might.
Right. I felt like All Might. Right then, I'm like, go ahead, young Midori. Go ahead. Like, yeah, that right there. Outside of that, it was a movie. I don't know. I think it was on like one of them like free to watch streaming services about this guy, his brother, and his girl trying to like, what was they doing? They was trying to like, they was pulling the con to say like he got lost out in the Alaskan wilderness, and like really, it was like a whole scheme, but it goes really wrong. And yeah, that was good. Like that was another one of them times OG was watching TV and I just happened to come over, and I was just like, "Yo, what you?" She
Yeah.
like, "Yeah." She like, "I'm watching this one." I'm like, "What you watching?" I ended up sleeping on the couch. I'm like, "This is good. This is good." Like that. I can't remember the name though. Sugar Mountain.
Sugar Mountain.
Sugar Mountain.
Okay.
That's what it's called. Sugar Mountain.
You know, there's a couple. I can't even think of them right now. To be honest with you.
For me, you can look a long time if you can. It was Insidious.
Insidious?
You like it?
So by default, I'm not necessarily with the horror stuff, right? Like it's probably maybe about like 50%, right? Like 50% of the time, like horror movies coming on, bro, I'm not rocking with it. Regardless of whether I just know it's gonna mess with me in my imagination, or either it just look like it's just trash. But for the 50% it does, and that was Insidious, because I remember we were, what was it? It was it had to have been whenever around the time it came out, and like a couple of my friends and whatnot, they were going to see it like again for like the second time or something. And like, yo, you should come see it. You should come check it out. I'm just looking at it. It's like it's not like I wrote Insidious off, but it's just like it don't look like it's my kind of bag. Yeah. And so I just went to go see it with them. It's like they kept badging it, but I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So I went to go see it. And that joint is good, bro. That joint is nice. And like I said, like I'm not even necessarily really into horror movies. Have you thought about anything? A movie like? No, you haven't. Okay, so let me just expand this thing. What is one or some, since we're in October, of your favorite horror movies?
Don't watch them.
Who? Oh, you don't watch them?
Closest I got into a horror movie in the last like 5 years is Get Out. That's it.
So do you not watch them because it mixes with your imagination, or like?
It was 2006. 2000. The year that was 2000. Year of our Lord 2000.
Okay.
My mother dropped me off at my uncle's house. 6 years old. You ever heard of the movie The Red Dragon?
No.
Heard of the movie The Silence of the Lambs?
Yes.
Yeah. It is a prequel movie to The Silence of the Lambs.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Now.
Okay. So without spoiling it, what is Silence of the Lambs about? The main character, the main villain, cannibal. Okay. 6 years old. My uncle, young man at the time. So granted, what? If I'm 6, my uncle probably like 23, 24, probably maybe 25 tops. I can't remember, but it's probably around that age, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he don't know better. I don't blame you for this, uncle. But she dropped me off to kick it with him for the day. And he never thought that maybe I shouldn't be watching the movie with cannibalism in it. So at one point in the movie, there's a man strapped to a chair and another man having a very dark discussion with this man. And he's circling him, kind of walking around him. And then all of a sudden, this man bends the man's neck who's in the chair back. Then he puts his mouth over this man's mouth and bites. And rips out something, chews something, and spits something out. And I was 6 years old. That thing wrecked with me for way too long. So we fast forward to what, 2017 when Get Out came out, bro? That was hard. to go to that movie was hard. The only reason why I was able to go is because one, I went with a girl that I liked at the time. But two,
it's good motivation.
It was us. Like that was a movie for us. I felt like. So I was like, all right, bet. I'll be willing to go through that like that for a movie that's really about us and that. I feel like it's gonna be like some kind of woke type stuff. It just, and Jordan Peele was popping at the time. Like for Key and Peele, to then see him do this was just like, I gotta see what this is about. But other than that, bro, I don't mess with horror movies, bro. I keep looking at Candyman like, man, am I gonna give this a shot? I'm not.
I feel you on that. Like I said, like horror movies, they're not necessarily my bag. Like I had a couple of. So real quick, right? So I remember my mom. She had some type of job, but she used to like leave early in the morning, or late at night, something like that.
Yeah.
And what used to be on the TV used to be the Crypt Keeper, Tales from the Crypts. You ever seen it?
Nope.
You know what I'm talking about, Tales from the Crypt. Okay, so it's basically like call him like a zombie. It's just like it was like a dead body that like had like all of the fluids like drained out of it. So like it was like skin, but like over bone.
Okay.
Creepy as hell, right? I was terrified of that thing. And like I used to be terrified like when my mom would leave. And it was like, yo, ain't nobody here, whatever. So we fast forward one morning when she's supposed to drop me off at school. So we parked the car in the backyard.
Yeah.
So we park in the car in the backyard. She has to go and open the gate. We ain't got nothing fancy. You know what I'm saying? So you got to open and close the gate. You got to drive out, get out your car, close the gate, get back in your car and drive. One of those type of deals. So while I'm in the car, I don't have my seatbelt on. The car's not even moving, right? But I don't have my seatbelt on. It's not like I wasn't going to put my seatbelt on. But I just have no. My mom is at the gate fiddling with the lock, trying to open it. Right? It felt so real. Okay? I was sitting in the car, like on the right hand side in the back seat. And then I look over to the left. And it was him. Looking at me. And was like, you should put on your seatbelt. Nigga, I ain't moved. I ain't never moved so fast in my life, bro. Because as soon as I went to go do this and click, gone. And my mom comes back to the car. She sees me shaking and whatnot. She's like, what's going on, baby? You okay? And I'm like, I don't know how to articulate what the hell I just saw without her saying like, oh, that's why you shouldn't be watching that. You like those sort of things. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just sitting here shaking. Like, I had that experience. So that wrote off horror stuff for me for a while.
Okay.
And then I remember watching TV and me watching it. The original It. But I didn't know what it was about until shit started going left. So I'm just thinking, you know, it's just a bunch of kids, and I guess they're like fighting some bad man or some bad clown or something. And then the clown just comes out of nowhere grabbing kids, and I'm just like, yo, what the hell is it? And like, see, it's funny. I'm glad you're laughing at my misery. It's funny because now with the new one that came out, I got dragged. Like, my girl had to bargain with me to come and see the movie.
Yeah.
Because I told her no. I told her hell no.
Yeah.
I told her no in like 85 different languages. No. Yeah, like all of those. And like that movie, like it's garbage. So like I said, like horror stuff is not necessarily my bag. But the 50% that does make it through is pretty good.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to laugh at it. It's just for the entire direction you talking, I was trying to figure out if the guy you seen was a figment of your imagination or if it was real.
And you just figured that out?
And then when you said it, I knew it was coming. Because it was for every kid. It was. But eventually, like, I'm be honest, I was a horror movie buff. I've seen just about every horror movie there is, from like The Devil's Reject to Wrong Turn to Jeepers Creepers to It to most of the Jasons, most of the Michael Myers, most of the Nightmare on Elm Street. Nigga, I've seen
Jeepers Creepers did a number on me, bro.
a lot of horror movies. Jeepers Creepers is the reason, like, I will, if I drive cross country, I have my gun on me. I'm not playing. I'm not playing.
Jeepers Creepers, like,
Nah.
it like, that's what I'm saying.
Nah.
Like, I don't like driving
Cornfields?
country. Yeah, bro. Like, it still gets me traumatized to this day. On top of that, like, I was living in the basement when that movie came out, right? Because, like, it looked like a cool movie, right? Because I didn't see no trailer, and I saw the second one. I didn't see the first one, didn't even hear about the first one. And so all I see is, like, you know, some demon-looking thing, like, on, like, the front cover of the VHS, because that's how long ago it was. And I just put the tape in. Didn't know what I was getting myself into. I have a window in my room in the basement. And I used to be terrified. I used to sleep with the light on. Because I was terrified that bruh man was just going to be looking at me through the window as I was sleeping or watching TV or something, bro. Like I just had that fear, bro. It was
Okay, so I'm gonna preface this. I used to stay in Rockford, right?
Yeah.
So, if you know anything about Rockford, it's a small town. It's a lot of wilderness. I don't watch every horror movie imaginable. The house that we lived in here, like slide back porch thing, and we never really went in the backyard. But at night, when I was there, like nobody was there but me, I would shut the blinds faithfully. I didn't play no games. I was like 13. I'm like, look out, see that slide door? Yeah, just in case. Like, nah, like,
Yeah.
and like we stayed in like a house that had like 2 floors, so it was like my room was like at the bottom floor, so it was like it was too big for a 13-year-old boy to be in there by himself. But you know, hey, life happens. But for me to like horror movies, my nigga, I'd be tucked up in the corner all night. But I would watch the movie, but then I would pay for it at the end of the night. And did I ever learn my lesson? No. But like, I don't remember a movie that actually terrified me. Like, I'm saying like Annabelle and all of that.
I can't do those.
I ain't about it. Ain't about it.
Dead silence. I can't do no dogs.
I know the girl in that movie. So my name drops. Nah, she's friends with my homeboy back home. Saw her friends like met her a couple times. Man, I never saw the movie though because I was like, it's creepy.
I don't feel like. So the one movie that I recommend everybody to see, it starts off a little bit slow, but it's good though. And it's more of a psychological thing than it is actual horror. Even though the threat in the movie is very real, right? Without spoiling anything, it does have like a lot of psychological thing. But anyway, The Ritual on Netflix. I always tell everybody that. You seen it?
Yes. I love that movie.
I love it too.
That was great.
I did not see that twist coming at all. I didn't see none of that coming, bro. I like when I was watching it, you couldn't have. I couldn't have put no type of money down on how.
Can I tell you how I saw it coming? I played Witcher 3 and I beat it. So I was like, hey, that's a lich. I'm like, that's a lich signal. Okay, that's the only reason why video games.
I recently watched it again. I think like a week or 2 ago, and like I just started to see what I didn't see the first time around, and like how you saying like sigils and stuff like that. Like, oh, if I would have just paid more attention, then I probably could have pieced together such and such.
I liked that movie. I was like, this.
You know what we should do? We should watch a movie that's not so scary, but it's still on the horror list. And at the same time, we'll watch Messiah movie. So that way.
I'm so mad because I was about to give it to you. Oh my gosh, I was waiting. I was gonna bring it up real casual, real slick. Oh, you're so lucky.
No, I'm saying because that'd be nice. We could do that.
I seen that. I don't believe. I seen the in his face when right before it was just like we should watch a movie that's not so scary. I seen him no. I seen him no. It was just like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying because that way we can get it all done, bro.
Najee, get it all done. First
It's
of all,
not gonna be. It's not like I'm saying. Like The Ritual, it's not scary like that, bro.
see, you don't sound convinced.
It's not.
It's just. It's not. It's no.
Okay, do you not like the suspense portion?
No,
or?
suspense is fine. It's
That's
bad images.
No, that's like the worst suspense.
Thank you. That's all I needed. Cool.
You're not gonna see it.
Just like y'all not gonna ever see Black Judas and Black Messiah. So y'all never gonna see Judas and Black Messiah.
Not like that. I just mean like the bad image part we're talking about. You're not really gonna see it. It's not gonna be.
No, y'all want to get real for a second? You realize you're coming up on almost a year now? Y'all not seeing Judas and the Black Messiah.
Oh my God.
A year, bro.
I thought we was going somewhere.
A year. No, look, listen to me, bro. It is October, bro. When did we do the first episode? episode of the pod when I was on it, bruh. We were almost on a year.
Okay.
Almost on a year.
I saw it. I just didn't see it how you saw it.
What do you mean?
I told you I watched the documentary on it on YouTube.
No, you didn't see it then. Don't. Lord. Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't let this man touch
Okay.
me.
Okay.
Don't
Okay.
let this man touch me.
Okay. As we wrap up, let me say this. For me, I cannot speak for him, but if he wants to come over, then we can do that. We can arrange that. So before we record next week, I will personally watch it, and I promise you that I will watch it. See, that's a big commitment. I will promise you that I'll watch it, and we can come in and we can discuss it. And
I
if
don't like
you,
nothing with the name Judas in it.
and
I'm gonna watch it.
and if Darius wants to come and join me, and we can both watch it together, then that's cool. If it's on HBO, I don't know. It's on HBO.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man.
I remember that from a year ago.
That was so funny. All right.
We'll watch
I'm out next week, but y'all didn't know what I do with my life. Yeah, I'm out.
Wait, you're not gonna be here next week?
I'm out of time.
He just went through the whole thing. Remember, I was like, I thought he was rapping, and then it was like, oh, okay.
I think I'm still putting stuff together.
Irregardless, which is
I
a really
wasn't
dumb
listening.
word if you think about it. Irregardless, that's a double negative, right?
All right, that's fine. That's cool. That's
We'll keep that though.
we'll figure it out. We'll do it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Reset Podcast. I'm Vash,
Cam.
Darius.
and as always, ladies and gentlemen, please take care of one another.